Julian. I am here with Alex. I'm here with Chris Delcross, and this is the first time in the pub for a while. We haven't been here in forever, it feels like, but the season is fast approaching. First game kicks off August 13th against Chelsea. A couple of games left in pre-season, so what we're going to do today is just kind of talk about what's happening, how we're looking with the squad, potential income. I like the like potential incomings, what we think, who we think is going to come in, and then what we need. If you look at the squad and what we have at the moment, what maybe we lack, but also looking at the squad, what we also currently have, maybe that other teams don't have, like the top, the front 4 or 5 options that we have. So exciting times. Alex,
we're very
welcome. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah.
Well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So what do you think? So, yeah, season kicks off against Chelsea. A couple of weeks.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, like overall, regarding the squad at the moment?
Overall,
you happy?
I think we are doing well because Chelsea's already in its own little mess, if you will. Lack of midfield options. I think even with our core, I believe Klopp truly knows who his starting 11 will be, and we have them already in the squad. We do need to sign 2 more mids. We do need to sign another defender, but I believe he knows who we're going to starting 11, and it's the 6th role. Who's going to play that? We have like Trent maybe being that hybrid position. I think he's going to start at right back. I truly believe it's going to be potentially Curtis, one of the 2, McAllister, Sobo, and Thiago, pending his knee injury if fit. I did miss the Leicester game because it was wicked early our time, and I have not watched the replay. The Bayern Munich game in 2 days is at a more appropriate hour, so I might have a...
what time is that?
It's a 6:30 a.m. Central Standard.
More appropriate.
Versus a 4 a.m. Central Standard. I mean, I really like the depth we have. Defensively, we're good. Left back, while Tomiskas is no robo, I do feel confident in the left side. Central is really sound. Right, I mean... Gomez could shift there potentially. I know we still need that right center back shift, but it's all about the mid 3. But with all these Mbappe, transfer rumors, unless he can play
don't do
a
that.
center. Okay.
Don't even go.
Cheers, brother.
Mbappe.
But no, that's the thing. It's we don't need that one. We're so stacked in the front 5.
You're right?
We don't need him.
Before
He's
we go to
luxury.
you, Chris.
If we didn't get Nunez, if we didn't get Gapgo, sure, maybe we can flirt with that idea.
I think the Mbappe thing, which is ludicrous, number one, but it is the area of our team, of our squad, that we don't really need. No. Of course, Mbappe, amazing if you can get him, and it's not going to happen. But that's the area where we have a ton of options, and that's not the problem that I see at the moment. I see a variety of successful players that can fit into different positions as well up front. So I'm no concern about that. But Mbappe,
that was more of a
crazy. I think Klopp dismissed it today.
He laughed at it. Yeah,
as he should. So. Delcross.
Yeah.
You have some things to say.
I do, but...
Yeah, let's bring this for you. And
no.
Whenever you scratch the beard, that means wonderful comments.
No. Look, I'm a little bit like Alice. Look, I'm positive. I'm looking forward to a couple of weeks' time, kicking off the season. I haven't seen a whole heck of a lot of the Liverpool games. I've predominantly been highlights. Happy enough with what I've seen from the 2, particularly from the 2 new lads, the Hungarian fella. I don't know how to say his name. Dominic, I think. I'll call him by his first name.
Dominic.
Dominic.
Dominic
has been. I think the bits I've seen of him, I've been happy with what I saw, and I think he will develop into a very good player for us. And McAllister also seems like he's slotted in there fairly seamlessly. So I'm very, very positive on those 2. But I'm a little bit concerned because we're 2 weeks out and we need a few more bodies, just not one. I think we need a few. I think we definitely need we need cover at right back. We've needed that for a couple of seasons now. Can't understand how that's not been addressed yet. And I think we need at least one more midfielder. And yeah, just very, very surprised that we haven't got him, and kind of surprised with the lack of even rumors and the lack of names that are being branded about. It seems like it's...
Except for Mbappe.
Yeah, right. So for a fella that we don't need, it seems like it's going to be, if the rumors are true, it looks like it's going to be this kid from Southampton.
When we bought that 16, 17-year-old, what was he, from Celtic, or that Scottish lad, and then we put him out on loan, like he was supposed to be the right back coverage. He got hurt his first year
Ramsey,
here.
Well, Aberdeen, Ramsey.
Aberdeen,
Ramsey,
thank
yeah.
you, sir.
Ramsey, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was like a project, like a 6-year project versus an immediate impact.
I think whenever you buy a player that young, right, it's always going to be a project. It's going to be someone that you hope is going to be potentially a first team
Chris's
player.
point-
That's why you buy anyone, right? You buy a youth player to train them, build them up, and be a deputy and have the odd game here and there in the League Cup, etc. But he got injured,
Right.
so he wasn't able to make any impact last season. So he's gone out on loan, which is the right
And I think
right
we
thing to
trust
do.
even Milner over Gomez at points.
I think that's an important point. I think we've gotten away with murder over the past few seasons with Milner. He was so versatile.
Yes.
You could put him in anywhere. He'd do a really good job for you. So you could kind of always go, well, we have Milner, and he'll do a job for you right back. He'll do a job for you at left back. He'll do a job for you in midfield. He'll do a job for you at 6. He'll do a job pretty much wherever you play the chap. He was always going to do a job for you. And I think we got now. I don't know that we have that type of player in the squad for versatility, but also his leadership. And I think now with Hendo moving on, Fabinho moving on, Milner moving on, Firmino moving on. These are all senior members of a squad that, a lot of leadership, a lot of guile, a lot of strong, big leader type men have just walked out the door, and that would be my main concern. Now, I'm very excited that Van Dijk has gotten the captain's armband, but I don't see, and I could be totally wrong here, I don't see the type of leadership qualities that a Henderson and a Milner brought to that squad in Van Dijk or anyone else.
Like his son.
Anyone else in that squad.
He's cool and calm, as you like. He doesn't have that intensity. You're spot on. Yes,
So-
sir.
We're recording this on Monday, and so it was announced today that Virgil van Dijk is the new club captain, Trent Alexander-Arnold as the vice captain. I think it was only ever going to be Virgil. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. He's obviously captain
Robbo
for Holland.
and Trent, I was
Robbo is an option. I think the Robbo,
because he captained Scotland.
Robbo
right?
is the vice captain. Maybe it was the surprise that giving it to Trent. I'll get to Trent in a minute, but yeah, Virgil. It makes sense for him to get the captaincy. He's a different kind of personality to Henderson. He's not the kind of bloke to be, shouting and screaming
He's
at
too
everyone
calm
non-stop.
sometimes.
So, but it might benefit him in a way. We know that Virgil struggled majority of last season, and he's a massive part of our team. I mean, it's huge. You have a Virgil van Dijk playing well, then it reflects, and the rest of the team goes from that. So that maybe that will help him, and hopefully it does, because he really is key. I still think to everything for us next season. But the Trent one. But did you want to speak about Virgil?
Yeah, I did like. Don't get me wrong. Like Virgil's an absolute class act, right? No questions there. I think he's a big, kind of imposing sort of a fella. But I just don't like when I think of a leader. Like it's like some lad that's in there in the dress. I think Henderson an awful lot of the time. Sometimes Henderson got a bit slated, and he was this and he was that, and he was passing the ball sideways and backwards, and there was all this sort of nonsense talk. But you could always hear him on the pitch, and he drove lads around that pitch, and people, like, even if you look at the goodbyes, all the squads goodbye to, people really respected him. People really ran for them, for the likes of him. People put their body on the line for him. And it's just from that angle that I'm kind of looking at this this kind of squad, and is there another player in there that has that in them to be able to drive those lads around the field and get lads to run for them and put their bodies on the line?
We've lost a ton of experience and a ton of leadership as well.
Yeah.
Well, he was OG.
Henderson-
Yeah, he was the original, like the
Henderson
oldest
was the
standing.
one. And the only good thing about the COVID season, etc., when it was behind closed doors, apart from when we won the league,
Yeah, you could
half
hear
of
him.
it,
I know where you're
could
going. You could
Henderson
hear him. Yeah.
screaming,
Yeah.
everyone,
Yeah.
like non-stop
Yeah.
motivation on the pitch. So Virgil is not that. It's completely different,
Yeah.
Right.
which is completely fine as well.
Yeah.
But we do have a lack of leadership, so it's time for certain players to step up. I think.
Well, I think Robbo matches his intensity, and that's why I was kind of shocked with the
100%. I think
Trent.
that was the surprise maybe that Robbo didn't get the
And don't get
highest-
me wrong, Trent is brilliant. Like, I mean, he's a local lad. I mean, he's given everything to the club. He's willing to be versatile with his position. He's younger than Robbo. He hasn't, taken on any kind of leadership role at the national level because England's stacked with leaders. But that's kind of where the shock was to me, where you have cool and calm Verge. You need like high octane Robo, and I think those. And don't get me wrong, Robo would still be high octane with or without the captain.
The captain is more. It's more than just leadership on the pitch. It's all
Right.
the extra stuff off the pitch.
Right.
That you get into, and I think the Trent one, it makes sense in a lot of ways. You've got a local lad, you've got a person that's basically saying, Klopp's basically saying, you've got the future of the club. This team is going to be around. You're going to be the vice captain. It was noticeable when Trent was playing the hybrid role towards the end of the last season. He was a lot louder on the pitch. And he was directing people as well, and I've never seen that before. So I think putting more onus on him makes a lot of sense. So while, maybe it's a surprise Robert didn't get it, Trent get it. Is it a big deal though, really? Not really. I think, it's there as a, it just makes sense for going forward that Trent gets it with how brilliant he is, and I think developing his personality as
Totally
well
earned it.
is part of it for him. Trent, hey, you're going to be a leader,
Yes.
right? And this is the first step I feel towards that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think there's talk of, I don't know whether this was just a rumor or was it it's actually true, but it's like a leadership committee, isn't it?
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
it's
is a leadership
Virgil,
committee.
Trent, Robbo, and Salah, right? Salah snuck in there.
He snuck in there. He should be in there. I don't know who it is. I haven't
But he
seen
doesn't strike you as
who the committee is. But
it doesn't strike me like a fella that say much on a football team.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school. I don't know. I just think back to when I played a little bit of football and like a couple of the good captains I played with always drove you around the field.
I would hope that every player that goes out onto the pitch every game sees himself as a leader, right, in your position, and you want that. And we had that. And when we won the league and when we won the Champions League, we had, when Alden was there, Henderson, Fabinho, we had Robbo, we had players that really get stuck in. So we'll talk about moving on to Fabinho.
Yeah.
So
Big
it's
loss.
done today. Signed, he's gone.
And it was a wash, right? Like what we paid is what we got.
Yeah,
We
it was
recouped
within a few.
essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it was within a few.
I mean, you can't say
couple
no
of
to
million
that.
or
That's
something,
good
but
business. Unfortunately, I have to
Fabinho-
say that word here.
Magnificent, magnificent player. Was huge in us winning the league and the Champions League. No doubt he fell off a cliff last season, and maybe you could say we sold him at the right time. But let's talk about Fabinho for a couple of minutes, because his peak years was brilliant, fantastic.
Yeah, I thought he was class. I always liked him. I always thought he was class. As you say, he didn't have a great season last season, but he set such a high bar for himself that it was very, very difficult to reproduce that type of season. And maybe he actually didn't fall off as much of a cliff as we think he did. It was just he set such a high bar that it was very, very hard to replicate. I think it's as of right now, and who we have and who we're linked to, unless we pull some rabbit out of some hat here in the next 2 weeks, I think it's a huge mistake letting him walk out the door.
And remember, Fabinho was one of those rabbits. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So that could well happen.
Yeah.
We could do
Yeah,
it
that's-
again.
that's
We
exactly.
could sign someone that no one's ever heard of.
Right.
Everyone would jump on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, who is this bloke? who are we signing? And then, so that's what happened with Fabinho. I mean, you know, some knew who he was. He was brilliant for Monaco, but then that signing just came out of nowhere. So maybe we'll do the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But as of right now,
yeah,
as things stand right now, on the 31st of July,
on the 31st.
I think it's a big mistake. I don't understand letting them.
So the strongest
I don't
links.
understand letting them go.
And I would expect this now the Fabinho deal is done. I would expect now the Southampton player,
Romeo Lavia.
Lavia, that's
Yeah.
it.
Romeo
I was
Lavia.
thinking of Lucas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Romeo Lavia,
Yeah.
I feel like that's now going to pick next level.
He's a kid.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So obviously he's only played a few games. Huge potential. You know, looks really good, but he can't be the only one. Surely, I mean, you need.
Well, you're gonna have him and
need
Trent in the middle of
someone
the
with
field.
experience in midfield. So I would hope, I hope we get him. But shit, we need someone else for that position, and I don't see any links. I'm not sure
No, that's what I'm saying. So
who we go for really. But we can't just bring in him. We need someone else in there as well.
And so, what age range are you talking about? Like 25 to 27?
Age range isn't necessarily the thing. It's about how many games have you played.
But
How long
games
have
in
you
which
done it
league?
for experience.
Because I know Premier League, that's what we were hoping to like recoup, like a 1-to-1 where we're losing 2-3 senior Premier League players. Now we're poaching players from. I'm sorry, I think Lavia, he came from Brighton, or no, Southampton. Sorry,
Southampton.
And so he has Premier League experience. But then these other lads we're looking into.
It depends on the player. So we'll go back to Fabinho as
Okay.
well. He came to us after a couple of years with Monaco, and he was fantastic with that Monaco team. He had experience in the Champions League. You know, he had that. And that's the kind of player. And I think Fabinho
Was he playing for Brazil at the time?
Yeah, he was playing for Brazil.
the
He
national-
was playing for Brazil, but he was being used a lot of right back as well
Okay.
at that time. But I think you need someone that's
Did
been
he
around
ever
a
play
bit,
right
played
back for
European
us?
football.
Yeah.
You know, it has a bit of class that you know about. That's ready to go into the side and control games. I'm not sure the Southampton fella's ready for that.
Like
But-
as much as I'm excited about McAllister and Dominic,
Somerset.
I'm just like I just as of right now I'm going all right. Well, what's the midfield trio going to tog out against Chelsea? Who are they going to be? You're going to have McAllister, Elliott, and Curtis Jones.
Well, that's what. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier before you got here. Actually, the easiest way to pick a team, predicting a team, is like who's the ones who definitely in.
Right.
And then you go from there. So if we're looking ahead towards the Chelsea game in a couple of weeks, then you're going to say Alisson, you're going to say Trent, you're going to say Canate, Virgil, Robbo. Right. You get to the midfield, and at this point in time, McAllister. 99% is going to start, if not 100%. McAllister most likely. The other two is up for grabs. It could be Soboslai, it could be Jones, it could be Elliott. Thiago hasn't had a pre-season, but Jatic hasn't had a pre-season.
Yeah, who's going to play number 6? As of right now, who plays number 6?
Right
Against
now, if I'm looking at, if we didn't make any signings, right, the Chelsea game was tomorrow.
No, I think we already have the number 6 in place. Whoever we sign, they're not going to play the Chelsea game. I guarantee.
Well, that
that.
depends again on who we sign, doesn't
No,
it?
I don't. Because of how club
Yeah,
works,
right.
you're not going to have an immediate impact. They're not in Singapore. They're not engaging with the team.
depends.
I think Klopp has his 11 for Chelsea
It
intact.
depends. It does depend.
Well, then we need a right back.
Because I can't see a six
Right.
in that squad.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
Curtis
there-
Jones played there the other day in the pre-season.
Yeah,
he
well,
played there
good
for
night
England.
now. If he togs out
That's-
against Chelsea,
he's an option.
Yeah, well,
So,
alongside Trent in the
I
hybrid
think
position.
I would
That's
expect
risky.
the hybrid position to stay, maybe. But
What's
this
it going to
is,
be?
this is what we're
What's it
talking
going to be?
about, right?
6'5".
This is
It's going to be
quality.
6'5".
It'll
be a basketball
but
game.
we talk about us.
I mean,
Chelsea are the same way.
yeah.
Chelsea don't, Chelsea
Yeah.
are like buying everyone for fun, but it's
They're
gonna
really
take a
depleted
while
on
for
mids.
Pochettino to build that side. They're trying to get Casado, but Casado's price seems to go up 5 million by the day, so they need that. So I think both teams, it could be a 10-10 game. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of
yeah, I just
Chaotic
as
at
I
the
say,
moment.
like you're looking right now. You're looking at Trent and some kid,
it's some kid.
but that's it though. But that's the truth.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
that's
not
where
being-
that's
I'm
where we
not
stand
being-
at the
I'm
moment.
not being a dick about it, but that's it. Like that's why I'm really surprised. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I said it here the last podcast I was on. Actually,
I'm with you.
we were
Yeah.
outside, and I came out with another belter of a statement. There's no way they'll let Henderson go and Fabinho go all at the one time. There's no chance. And they did. And there's nobody lined up.
Yeah, and that's the biggest gap, right? That's the, Fabinho. Ideally, you would have had Fabinho stay, and then you bring in the Southampton kid, and then slowly you can integrate him in.
Or
And I think
the
the
young fella,
Fabinho
the
took us off guard.
Badic
I
guy
think.
as well. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be a real good player, and he could develop into be a really, really good six.
Yeah.
For
100%.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it have been lovely now to introduce him alongside Fabinho this season and kind of just gradually get him in, and then maybe next season transition Fabinho
Well, I know
out?
the wages are very frugal as well, and I mean FSG is very frugal with their wages, and PSG, FSG. Sorry,
so
you
you're
looked
right.
at me like, oh, did I say it?
PSG
Okay,
are
did
not
I
very
get the wrong?
frugal.
And so no.
Although saying that FSG are not frugal with wages,
No, well, but-
wages we do pay the wages. We don't. It's the
Sorry,
it's the
what
transfer fees.
I was getting at with the frugality is that, per their vision, it's like we need to like chop off some of like the sides, like the leftovers, like with Ox and Keita. And I think Keita was the big unknown factor where he was supposed to be Fabs' like kind of competition, where he can play a holding, he can play a central, potentially attacking, and the fact that he flopped. I mean, he was just made of glass, but at the same time, he had a massive wage bill. And it's just we can't bring on more players
But he's
until
gone.
we get. Oh, he
So
is
he's
gone. No,
hold on.
you're right.
Keita's
He was gone for
Ox
a while.
is gone. Milner's
Right.
gone. Henderson's gone. Fabinho's gone.
And I think
Firmino's
that was
gone.
the shock where
Like,
they didn't
there's six.
expect.
How much money?
Yeah.
How much money do they need to
It's
save
a lot-
before they
it's
fucking
it's
spend
lot
a
of
few
money.
quid?
But we know
Like, it's-
we're in the situation. It's always been the same. Always been the same that we sell to buy it. Right? That's always been. It's one out, one in. That's always been
Not
the way.
to sound like Gary
right?
Neville, but we're Liverpool. We should.
I know we are. We
We're
said this
Liverpool.
after we won the
It's-
league.
it's-
This
it's-
summer was
Yeah,
huge.
no,
It's
you're
just-
and
absolutely
we
right,
didn't
Chris.
take advantage.
You managed to draw me out on this. I didn't want to go there this evening. But
Now-
fuck me, it's time they pony up or fuck off.
Right.
We say
Now, that's the part of it now. You need to. You cannot go. We cannot keep going with this sort of nonsense where, like,
The Moneyball concept.
7 weeks ago, it was like, oh, we're not signing Bellingham because we have to sign 4 new players, right? We can get 3 or 4 new players for that amount of money. We signed 2 guys. We basically got the money back with Fabinho
Right.
and fucking Henderson. So that we're another transfer window in. We're a good bit into it. The season starts in 2 weeks. We spent about 20 million quid. Is that good enough?
Jude Bellingham looks like a bargain, by the way, right now. Like a Real Madrid got it.
Well, yeah.
But you're 100% right. Like I see I don't think we've addressed what the issues were of last season yet. And our biggest issue was not going forward, and we didn't even touch about that. Is picking the team for Chelsea. I think Gakpo, Nunes, Salah, Diaz, Jota. I have no issue with any of those 3.
Yeah.
Like, any 3 we pick from that team, we're going to score a ton of goals.
Right.
Right. That wasn't the issue last season either. The issue was defensive midfield.
We need the
and
transition.
defence.
Yeah.
And we haven't addressed that yet, and you would hope we do. There is still time to do it, but we're getting a little bit. Klopp said today that he wants a centre back and he wants a midfielder, so it needs to be the right ones.
The season we got done for the league. Remember that year we got done. We got done and we got done
There's
for
been
the
a few
league,
of
and we
them.
got done for the Champions League. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking window wasn't open 6 hours. We'd signed Fabinho,
So we knew
We needed
immediately. Yeah.
and if I'm not wrong, we signed Allison that same summer.
Yeah.
We needed a center midfielder. We needed a goalkeeper. We knew we needed those 2 lads. And prior to that, the Christmas before that, we signed VVD because we needed a centre back.
That's true. It's always
So
like that opening.
we have historically, there's precedent there for us going, this is what we need, go out and do it. Why now? It's blatantly obvious that we need midfield, like a good solid defensive midfielder. Why haven't we gotten him?
We
Why
know the
haven't-
answer to
Yeah.
that, and we won't won't spend the money. I mean, that is the. I mean, if we wanted if you wanted Declan Rice, you pay the 100 million. If you wanted Casado, you pay the 100 million.
But isn't also the issue of like the English
that's not
talent?
the concern, but that's part of what you're dealing with now, and we're not at that level money-wise. Our owners are not at that level, so we are working with. We're like, you have your top tier of spending. And we're down in maybe the second.
But we also need to find the right player to meet the standards.
We're barely in the second tier.
Yeah,
we're
that's
barely
where
in the
we're at.
second tier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not having a go. I'm not FSG this that. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm just really surprised.
And that's what you have to ask yourself is, like, and I've asked this previously. What do you want Liverpool to be? Do you want it to be a team that is challenging for the league? Or do you want it to be a team that's challenging to get in the Champions League? If you want your Liverpool to be a team that's challenging for the league again, then you're spot on. And we're going to fall behind unless we take that step to the next level. Now, whether that's new ownership, it doesn't seem likely, but it feels like that's what you need to do to get to that next level to compete with the Newcastles, the Man Cities of the world, etc. That's where it's heading.
Yeah, but
I'm
they
not saying that's a good thing,
they haven't
but-
gone berserk either this summer. To be fair,
Who?
like
Man City?
Man
Well,
City,
both of them,
both of them
really.
really
Both of
haven't. No one. Arsenal are probably the only ones that have gone a bit fucking crazy in the transfer window. So, I get it. I get it. I'm just really surprised that we're coming on the 1st of August, and that we haven't signed that player.
Yeah, I mean we've signed 2 players and we've got rid of 8. It's a lot of money off the way, and it's going to be more. Nat Phillips, I think, is rumoured to go to Leeds. He's probably off. There's Kelleher. He's linked
I don't
to a couple
think.
of
Wait,
clubs as
Keller's
well,
leaving?
It's not. There's rumours about.
I don't see
Kelleher,
because who
so-
would be Adrian, and then who's Adrian's backup?
Well, Kelleher wants first team football. That's no secret.
No, I
whatsoever.
agree
And
with
he's
that.
good
We're
enough
not going to let him.
He
go
is
unless
good
he
enough,
gets
yeah.
paid money.
And he's good enough.
Isn't
for
he
first
your
team.
country's
He's
starter?
goalkeeper.
It's good, you like
Yeah,
it.
I do like him. I do now, and
Call
I'd
him?
be sorry to see him go,
Colleen.
but I
Colleen.
How do you
definitely
pronounce his first name? What's the best way to do
Quaveen.
it?
Oh,
see?
wow.
Quaveen.
Botched.
Quaveen
If you look at the spelling of it,
Oh yeah, a bunch of vowels.
it's a lot of vowels. It's a bunch of random.
There's an
letters,
M in
man.
there. There's an M in there. There's an M in there. Quaveen.
That's not me saying, oh, that's Alex. You
Yeah,
know?
so
How do you spell his
MH
name? GHQR.
I'll give you a little bit of a Gaelic lesson here. MH equals V, BH equals V.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Say that, MH
so if you see
equals
combo like of MH in
Yeah.
in a word, that makes a V sound, and it's the same with BH. So Siobhan, for example,
Yeah, okay.
or Quaveen is MH.
We know some Gaelic
I
now.
think
Yeah.
that's,
Anyway.
that's
Cheers.
Like,
Yeah.
this pot is worth it just for
Yeah,
that.
there you
Yeah,
go.
which
A little
is
bit of
all that,
wisdom
so-
imparted there to see
I know.
But I don't see Keller
amongst
leaving
the
this
shite I
window.
was talking the last 10 minutes. I know,
But
look,
who knows? We'll see. We'll put this pot out. Who knows? We'll wake up tomorrow and we'll have signed.
well, that's
three
that's
players.
usually what
About
happens,
it.
right?
But you
After
never
I
know.
open my mouth,
Yeah, it'll be some random.
Yeah.
He'll be like, yeah.
and he'll be class
He'll
as
be
well.
Class. Yeah,
So.
like, yeah.
But no.
YouTube monster.
Looking forward to the season, though. I can't wait. I really
Oh,
can't.
yeah, you're looking forward to the season.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, our preseason so far, like that one in Germany where we were up, then down, and then down again, and we came back, and I turned it off when we were 4-3, and most scored in like the 93rd. So I need to watch that replay.
I think we're playing Bayern.
Yeah, Bayern
next-
6:30,
Bayern Munich
yeah.
6:30, right? Yeah.
Next
so-
Wednesday, my birthday.
Well, bloody hell.
There you go. I
that
sneak it
in
in
there
there, sneak it in there.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we'll come to the. Well, you've probably got plans for that rather than doing one of these.
No, I don't know what I'm doing
You know what
actually.
you're doing?
No.
What are you doing this weekend?
The missus, it's wedding anniversary this weekend as well.
Oh.
So I have to.
You planned that badly.
Yeah,
didn't
no, I
you?
have to tug out now for that. So
Yeah.
the birthday takes a backseat.
Oh, shit, okay. All
But
right.
yeah, so we'll be doing a bit of that.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
Good stuff. So,
Thank you.
all right, I guess we should wrap this up.
Okay.
Cheers to Alex.
Oh,
Yeah.
my first one, yeah. Namaste.
Cheers to Del Cross on your birthday next week.
Thank you.
Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, all that good thing, and we'll see you later. Cheers.
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 Boom. Good stuff. Yeah.